Terve! I'm Teemu from Microsoft. I started my professional career in 1997 as a software startup entrepreneur. And that was quite an exciting time because right around that time there was a thing called internet coming to the market, and it was somehow transforming everything we did in digital. But there were some challenges coming my way. First of all, the digital skills of the people I would have liked to do something around the internet, they were not really there. I remember one training session I was running, and there was a person in the back of the classroom saying that my mouse doesn't work, and I went to help, and he was lifting his mouse all around the mouse pad. And then I needed to guide him that please push it so the mouse actually starts working. So we started from there. Also, the attitude to technology was quite different. If you went to any manufacturing company and said that you should be investing in digital and software instead of hardware in your factories or people, was pretty much a no-go. Didn't really fly. And then finally, also the value of internet, 97. It wasn't really quick time to value at that time. It took quite a bit of effort to actually build something before you got any value out of it. And that's where my company started, and then we sold it a couple years later, luckily right before the internet boom came down. Now, with AI, we are in a really similar situation. There's a lot of buzz, excitement out there, a lot of good ideas, but there are some significant differences compared to 97 today. Let's look at some fresh data. At Microsoft, we do quite an extensive research called Work Trend Index once a year, and the latest data came out just this May. In this research, it's a global research, 30,000 plus respondents, 1,000 out of them were from Finland, so there's Finnish-specific data out here as well. But it's quite a good data set telling what's happening out there in the working market. And the first really surprising thing here is that 57% of these 31,000 people, 57% of the Finnish 1,000 people are saying that they are already using AI at work. So there was no skills gap. Nobody trained them. They started using AI at work. The worrying thing to me is that if we look at the global number, globally 75% say that they use AI at work. So already now in Finland, we are actually trailing in the use of AI at the workplace. Even more worrying is the fact that most of the people who use AI at work actually bring their AI to work. So they find a somehow suitable tool as a consumer, they bring it to workplace, start using it. And of course, this opens up certain risks around data privacy, security, and stuff like that. But that's what seems to be happening right now. The other difference I mentioned, the attitude towards technology. Massive change there. 74% of Finnish leaders say that AI is imperative for their long-term success in business. Completely different to what I heard on 97 about the internet. The leaders say that they do need AI to remain competitive. Also on this front, though, Finland 74%, globally 79%. So this side of things as well, Finland seems to be trailing a bit. And another thing reflecting the attitude to technology and AI as a whole is the final one about hiring. It looks like majority of the leaders would value AI skills over experience. AI skills over experience. So if there were two candidates, one with less experience, more AI skills, and vice versa, they would prefer the AI skills. Then heading towards the value. For me, the AI value at work came when my AI companion had access to my work data. So effectively, when I could have dialogue with AI and that dialogue had some insights on the data set I had at work. I work as leader, chief operating officer at Microsoft, so most of my work data is in my different office applications, Teams, OneNote, Outlook, and whatnot. And I sit in meetings a lot. Fun fact from the Work Trend Index research a year ago, Today, on average, we have 3 times more meetings in working life compared to the situation in 2020. So in 3 years, the number of meetings globally in this scale of data set, it tripled. And I feel that. Leader at Microsoft, I sit in meetings most of my time. So any help I can get for those meetings is more than welcome. I start the week by asking AI, these are my work priorities, 1, 2, 3. Look at my calendar for the upcoming week. Which meetings do I really need to go to? Which I can talk about, check through with AI, and which I can ignore completely. It's not perfect, but I get a brutally honest opinion from AI where I should actually be spending my time if I really lived up to my priorities. And the other thing is that there's boatloads of information coming my way. Huge amounts of emails, Teams chats, and whatnot. Any help I can get in summarizing those, I get pulled in midway, long email thread, long Teams chat. Any help I can get for that, for actually understanding what the context is here, what's important, and what I need to do. That helps. But of course, it's me, a leader, so-called white-collar worker at Microsoft. The value of AI looks way, way different for different roles out there. Take software developer, for example. Software developers have had access for this thing called GitHub Copilot for a couple of years already. Effectively, it's a tool that kind of tries to understand what the developer is developing, then starts suggesting blocks of code, and effectively tries and take away the mundane part of coding, and does it for the developer, so the developer can actually focus on problem solving and the stuff that really matters and requires skill. Same thing in customer service. Any bigger customer service organization has recorded the customer service calls for years on end. They are sitting on a gold mine of customer service data that's in a recorded audio format. If you could expose that data to AI and start guiding the customer service professionals, so AI would listen into the customer service call, understands what the actual customer is wanting here, and scribes through that data that's out there and starts suggesting, ask this, ask this, ask this, until we get to a point that we can start solving the problem. And then, again, AI can help the customer service agent solve the problem based on the historic data that's out there. If we look at here to Finland, even though we are trailing, all in all, in AI use compared to the rest of the world, there's stuff happening here as well. I have a couple of examples here. OP, Osuuspankki, that's the biggest bank here in Finland. Alongside being a bank and an insurance company, they also resell or sell apartments and houses. When you want to sell an apartment or house, you need to make an advertisement for them, for that. So effectively describing what this house is about and so on. And not all of the people who are really professional in selling houses, the house sellers, not all of them are really professional in writing these descriptions. That's where AI can help. OP built an AI to which they feed the data of the apartment to be sold, and then AI does the magic for the actual seller and makes the first draft. Of course, the content needs to be checked so that it's correct and all that, but the overall quality of these advertisements, it actually went up. Of course, there's another problem here as well. If you have a mansion worth 2 million to sell and an old cottage worth 100K to sell, you spend a lot of time on the advertisement for the 2 million mansion, a bit less time for the cheaper one. AI makes the quality equal for both of them. Another example, Attendo. They provide care services for elderly people and people with disabilities. When Attendo's personnel goes and meet with these people, they need to make journal entries so effectively document those meetings. Earlier, the documentation either happens there when the patient is present, or then person walks out the building and then tries and do the booking afterwards by typing it in. Or in the worst case, does the bookings or journal entries for the whole day at the end of the day. And the more time passes between the actual meeting and the journal entry, the less quality there is in the journal entry. Now, Attender is using AI here in a way that the person going to meet the patient, he or she talks to AI, and AI does that journal entry during the meeting. Quality goes up, the comprehensiveness of these journal entries goes up, plus not all of the healthcare workers are really proficient and want to use computers in the first place. They are healthcare professionals, not IT professionals. So this might even be a better user interface for them for actually making these entries. Another example, Kela, Kansaneläkelaitos, the social insurance government organization here in Finland might be the rough translation for that. They get 17 million applications for different benefits a year. And in all of these applications, alongside the application, there are a number of attachments, and some of these attachments might also be photos or handwritten documents. Kela uses AI in actually transcribing these attachments from different forms to digital, relieving time from the people handling these applications from that work to actually working on deciding how should Kela proceed with this one. Completely different context. EduHouse is a training service, a company providing training services here in Finland. They use AI as a personal tutor for learners. So effectively, people describe to this tutor their learning goals, their learning schedules, and so on, and then AI gets to work. Starts recommending courses, starts testing if the learning actually happens, moves the person backwards on their learning journey if learning did not happen, and so on and so on. And all of this is personal, because you can assign one tutor for each and every learner out there. And finally, probably the easiest use case, but also quite a valuable one, automatic translations. Tietoviikko, IT journalism magazine here in Finland, they are publishing IT news in English, translated by AI, checked by a journalist. Again, taking that burden off from the personnel that's doing translations. Actually, Yle is doing the same thing for news in Ukrainian, and they openly say that they would not have the resources to publish news in Ukrainian in Finland if there weren't AI to help them out on the translation side of things. If you think of building business around AI, there are I see three layers to it. I started from the personal co-pilot and assistant world. So there's an AI when we go a year or two ahead, every one of us at work will have some kind of an AI companion that connects to organization's data and helps you out at work. Of course, deploying those companions, it needs work. Configuring them to organization's data sources takes work. And also training people to actually get the value out of it, it takes work. There's some business to be done there. Also role-based co-pilots, whether it's software developers, finance personnel, customer service agents, you name it. There will be out-of-the-box AI companions for different roles out there. But again, these need to be connected to external data and so on. There's a lot of work there. But the biggest one is the last one. All of the examples I described on the previous page, they were actually innovations on how companies bring AI to be part of their existing systems. OP, the bank, they have had a system for apartment resales for years already. Now they just bought an AI layer on top of them to help on certain part of that system. And that will happen all around. If there's a software product out there, AI will be helping out the user out there one way or the other. Then finally, the third element, value, that we discussed. Developing AI type of solutions, obviously it takes money. IDC researched 2,000 organizations who invested in AI and came up with this study last autumn. Two highlights from here. The average time of an AI project is really, really short. 9 out of 10 AI projects lasted less than 12 months. If you go back to internet times, in 12 months you could barely design something you want to do. Now it's already done. And another one, in these 2,000 organizations, it took an average of 14 months to get the investment back in the account. So if you invest now, for 14 months on, the money was back on your account, and then you started gaining productivity. And the last thing, what's holding back then, if it's also golden? Skills. Even though I said that there are skills out there already, people are bringing stuff to their work already, yet organizations are saying that the biggest thing slowing them down are AI skills at the moment. On the skilling side of things, there's free stuff out there. One option is Skills for Jobs Finland, where there are free for all online courses from practical AI, that's for end users, all the way to AI development side of things. And if you happen to be a student, you also get study points as part of your students if you do these courses. Again, free for all online. And another one, to build AI, you need some kind of a platform to build on. Every successful startup now will be an enterprise one day. And therefore, you should start building on a platform that's enterprise ready when you start scaling, when you start going international, and so on. We provide that from the startups.microsoft.com. There's a program called Founders Hub. And depending on the phase of your company where you are, whether you are ideating a company, developing a solution, or scaling it out internationally, we provide free of charge Azure services on which you can run Azure OpenAI or other language models out there. And finally, if there was something interesting in everything I said, I tried to collect all of the relevant links to this last slide. So it's an easy place to kind of start moving forward around AI. But hey, thanks a lot for letting me be part of ARCTIC15. Easiest way to reach out to me is getting connected in LinkedIn. See you. Thank you.